Welcome to the Forward Podcast. We're jumping in this week with my wife, Carrie, and I appreciate everybody tuning in tonight or early in the morning or whenever you find yourself listening to the Forward Podcast. And our hope, once again, is that each and every week you listen to this and you don't come out discouraged or baffled or mad, upset, or ready to quit.
Yeah, I like
you
the
got to
word
move
baffled.
forward.
When do you listen to your podcasts?
Talk again. I feel like you're
When
quiet.
do you listen to your podcasts?
Okay, I'm gonna turn you up for just a second.
Okay.
I listen to. What's up?
Okay.
I listen to mine throughout the day. So if I'm traveling, I listen in the car. If sometimes at the office, I'll have it playing in the background. Usually a podcast that I don't have to hear every single word. I can just have it running and playing.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, mostly in the car is when I hit mine.
Nice.
What about you?
Yeah, car. Or, I mean, I have a commute now, so I do. I'll do some in the car when I'm folding laundry or putting away clothes, which is
I always hear you.
That's a big part of my week.
When you're in the kids' closet or our closet, I can always tell where you are because you have your phone and a podcast playing.
Yeah.
I can hear it. Hear it.
But I go through spells where I won't listen to one for a while.
Yeah.
I just give my mind a break. But or when I'm doing my makeup.
Yeah. Our Apple fans have grown a ton, and Spotify is about in second place.
Nice.
Podbean, a couple others are real light. You know what has kind of fallen off is YouTube. I
Really?
think we're going to have to push YouTube a little bit more. Maybe people
don't want to watch us.
Yeah, I feel. Well, I just think the people that we speak to, a lot of them are kind of that age where it's easier to listen audio.
Yeah,
they're in the car, they're traveling, they're at work.
Yeah,
there's a younger crowd that is into YouTube a lot more than
the
millennial and above that kind of tune into this.
I watched a YouTube video today with the kids, and I think that's the first time I've been on YouTube in like 3 months, 4 months. Like, I'm never on YouTube.
Right. I'm teaching again, so I upload a lot of my lectures onto YouTube. So that's when I'm on it a lot more.
Yeah.
And getting in and posting it. So
however you listen or watch, we're glad that you do.
We are.
And I hope that
awesome.
tonight you enjoy our topic. It's about the mind, mastering your mind. And this comes up. This comes up a lot in people that we counsel. It comes up in our own lives. It really does. It comes up in parenting.
Kara, it definitely, when I was thinking about this and kind of looking over our notes, I'll be honest, I don't even think this is something that I have mastered or like, I have down. It is a great reminder for me.
It really is. And we don't want to, this is not going to be an exhaustive episode by any means. There's a lot when you bring up the topic of the mind and mastering your mind, controlling your mind. I mean, you could talk about this for days, but we're not going to, because we just want to give you some reminders, some pointers to get through your day and just remind you it is possible to have control, and it is attainable through Christ. And so we just kind of want to hit you with some reminders this week as you go about your week, as you move through your relationships and your communities. It's possible to have power over your mind.
Good.
And
let's run through
be reminded.
This.
Yes.
We're kind of going from assumption to peace. So the mind can either be our greatest enemy or the mind can be one of your greatest allies.
Yes.
But when we leave it really unchecked, that's when we begin to really spiral into this bitterness and anger, and kind of what you were talking about. I think your vision for this is imaginary conflicts.
Yes.
It is we can talk about the mind. It might go crazy, and yes, it can get bitter. Everyone talks about that, or you can get very angry, but it's the imaginary conflicts that I really believe have spawned from the Facebook, Instagram, TikTok age that we live in. And when it goes unchecked, we get in big trouble.
Yeah, that's what we want to focus in on. So many people have this issue where their mind becomes a battlefield.
Right.
And it's from their own imaginations.
Yeah.
Right? And we all do this. We all do this where something happens and we sit there and we ruminate in our minds and we make up scenarios, and they must be thinking this, and we imagine all of these things, and we assume all of these things that other people must be thinking or feeling and we reason away why they would. And then we create this narrative in our mind about someone or about a situation. And it ends up many times, it's completely untrue.
Right.
The whole thing
Right.
is a made up world inside your mind, and you bear that world alone. And I think that we need to talk about this more. It needs to be discussed, like,
Right.
especially as Christians, that's a very damaging thing to do. It's dangerous.
So the mind is a battlefield.
Mhm.
It's constantly going to be attacked.
Yes.
There's good, there's evil. The Bible says in Proverbs 23, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So our thoughts influence our emotions,
Mhm.
and our thoughts influence our actions and our attitudes.
Yeah.
So this mind that's in this battlefield, when it begins to wonder, or if it goes unchecked, which we all do, it becomes this wandering mind that will begin to build these false narratives, these false enemies.
Mhm.
People are against me. People hate me. Oh, we're going to battle back and forth, to the extent that none of it is really true,
Right.
or it's partially true.
Mhm.
There's the insinuation that might be there. It's our mind that always takes it to that next level.
Yeah.
It's our mind that always drags it to this mountain,
Mhm.
and it's really just a tiny. I was gonna say anthill. I knew you were gonna make fun of me. It's just a molehill. So
Why would I make fun of you for saying anthill?
because you made a mountain out of a molehill,
Oh,
right? That is
because
it,
you
right?
would mess up a.
Yeah, you would
a
have got
turn
me
of
on.
phrase.
You would have nailed me on that one. So
That would have been funny.
I let my mind go amok there. So she's all mad at me. No, but we really do care. We get to this place where when we allow our emotions to get involved, and
Right.
it is all spawned from just our thinking that's gone way too far.
Yeah, absolutely. We can assume things that aren't true. And the funny thing is, we don't know if they're true, but we will tell ourselves that's what they think.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they believe. And it might make sense based on someone's behavior, but the why is important. But we'll assume away and never have a conversation with someone because we're afraid of conflict. We'll have revenge fantasies, right? Well, if they say this to me, I'll tell you what I'm going to say to them. I hope they don't come up to me because here's what they're going to get. I've said that one before. Oh, I hope they do. And then I've said this one, like, oh, they better just come up to me because I'm telling you, I'm going to tell them, and we have these revenge fantasies of what we'll say and how we'll respond. And truth be told, most of us are so terrified of confrontation, we would never do that. Right. And then thirdly,
but before you go any further, we even do this with our spouse.
Oh,
we'll do this
yes.
with people that we love.
right.
We sit there and we allow our mind to run amok to
Yeah.
where we are having complete arguments in our mind. So if they say
Absolutely.
this, okay, here's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
And if they say this, I'm going to fight right back. And
we
here's what I'm
get
going to say.
So worked
It-
up.
I love the way you put that revenge fantasy because it
Yeah.
really is like, I just hope they do. Like you said, I hope they come at me. I hope they, and none of it's right.
No.
Like none of it is good. Vengeance is mine, I will repay, say the Lord. Like
Yeah.
that's not even our turf to be on, to get back or to lambaste somebody. And again,
Right.
it's all this fantasy that's in our head.
Yes. So we make assumptions, we have revenge fantasies, and then we overthink.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, do we overthink? This cannot be overstated how much we overthink.
We do.
We let things go to the point where we are having these horribly ungodly situations and relationships and arguments in our head that, truth be told, will most likely never come to pass.
Yeah.
Like, are you gutsy enough to have that conversation? Probably not.
No.
I mean, you'll have it with 10 other people that, we want to know how we feel, but would you ever call that person and say those things? The vast majority would not.
No.
But yet you're letting your body live through this stress and this anxiety. And this is funny. It's kind of relevant. The other day, I got worked up about a person and a situation. And we were on this drive, to this event, and we got out and I said, I feel almost like, I mean, not to be crass, but I almost felt like I was damp, like I was like sweating or perspiring, and my heart rate was up and I didn't feel well. I said, man, babe, all of a sudden I don't feel well. And you said, I think you got worked up. And I mean, we do it all the time, but like not to that extent.
Right.
I really let myself like get frustrated. And I said, I got so upset. I don't feel well.
Yeah.
Like my body sent this pulse of anxiety and anger, and it literally affected my physical health. For a minute, not
Right.
not a long time, but and I said, wow, that is sad. It's sad that I let myself get out of control to that point. And it's okay to talk through things with your spouse, but I mean, I was imagining things that I would say and do, and I was venting to you, and it really reached a point where that was not right.
Yeah.
That was not right. But how often do we let ourselves do that? Like, that's
Right.
crazy. We get that upset
Sure.
about something that, I
Right.
mean, it might not even happen.
But we do this often.
We do.
So here's a great help. I love this passage of scripture that says, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God.
Yes.
It's your mind. You've got to cast this down. You have to get control of it. You can't live with this mindset.
Right.
Because like you said, it's not even healthy.
No,
Like
physically.
it hurts. Your blood pressure gets high.
Mhm.
You get yourself worked up.
Yeah.
It's not physically healthy, but it's not mentally healthy either.
No.
You're getting to this place where now it has consumed your thoughts.
Yes.
It's consumed who you are. And this is where I believe we really go crazy, Care, is we run over it in our mind so much that we lose what is reality and what is not.
That's it.
We run so many scenarios in our head of
Yes.
revenge or what they said or what they did, or here's how I'm going to get back. So I think we lose there's so much fantasy, we lose what was actually reality. It was this little tiff or a little something said, it was a roll eyes, but we ran so many scenarios. Now our mind's having a hard time of, okay, but what is reality and
Yeah.
what really happened and what is not?
Yeah.
And we get to this place where the Bible says casting down all imaginations. Like
Mhm.
you're exalting yourself to this place you don't need to be. This is none of your business. It's none of your concern. If it is, well, yeah, it is my business. Okay. Then do the right thing and go to the person and address it.
Excuse me.
Go. We're freezing up here.
I know. I saw that.
Go to the person, address it. Make sure at that moment it's not. It has not taken this storyline of its own.
Yes.
Make sure now I'm aligned with what really happened, and
Mhm.
now I'm going to go in and fix it. So help with this in these kind of common mind traps that we're talking about is recognize the pattern. The pattern is there. You're on the porch and you're always thinking about getting back. I'm mad at this person. What I'm going to say. Recognize it as a pattern. You're always in your car and you're daydreaming, and it's not good daydreaming. It's bad. Recognize the pattern in your life. Secondly, stop rehearsing negative thoughts.
Mhm.
We have to quit. Like if you're going to think of good things or think of something, think of good things. Think of the vacation, think of the weather, think of the love in your family, whatsoever things are pure, honest, good report. If there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things. So stop rehearsing negative things in your mind. It's not good for you spiritually, mentally, or physically. And then kind of last here in these common mind traps is replace the lies with truth.
Yeah.
Because this is once again where our lines get crossed. We begin to fantasize so much, we lost reality, and now we are just lying to ourselves about other people.
Yeah.
And the really sad thing is, Care, when we finally do approach people in these arguments, if we ever get our nerve up or if it ever comes out, we really do feel foolish because it's, well, you said this and you did this, and it's like, when? No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I never did that. And you begin to think, oh, did they or did they not? I can't remember. Like,
Yeah.
you look very foolish.
Yeah.
It's almost stupid. Like, that's how far we've allowed our mind to go. So recognize the pattern that you have in your life. Start replacing it with positive thoughts, not these negative thoughts, and replace lies with truth. What is the truth? Okay, the truth is I have a tiff with somebody. Okay, the truth is let's go fix it.
Yeah. And then there's the biblical response too. I love that you wrote in here in our notes, Romans 12:18, if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men.
Yeah.
I love that verse. And I have in one of my ladies' lessons that I do at retreats, often an American turn of phrase is forgive and forget. that's a silly phrase.
Yeah.
Humans can't forget, especially it's very difficult to forget offense. But I think we need to replace that with forgive or forfeit.
Yes.
Forgive
Yeah.
or forfeit.
Right.
You either forgive someone and you let it go, or you forfeit it up to God and say, God, I'm having a very difficult time forgiving because this person's not sorry, or they don't know. I don't have the guts to go tell them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to forfeit this situation to you. And I'm going to take the loss here. And I'm going to trust you to bring justice to this situation.
Yeah.
And that's a hard pill to swallow because we don't want to do that. We want to keep running those plays in our mind.
Yeah.
We want to run those scenarios. We build these like fake people in our mind that we beat to death.
Yeah.
And in the end, when you unmask that fake person you've built, it's you.
Yeah.
The only person you've beat to death over this issue is your own self because the other person has no idea you're torturing them with quotation marks in your own mind. And so when you unmask that person, it's you. It's just you against you in your own mind, having this completely fabricated issue and relationship, and the other person may not even know.
Right.
And so then what have you done? You've lost time, you've wasted health, so forgive or forfeit. Either forgive them and let it go, or forfeit it up to God.
Yeah.
And it's kind of two sides of the same coin, but the forgiving them is you being active about it, and forfeiting them to God is saying, I'm choosing to let God take it from me.
Yeah. I think, Care, that helps me a lot. I really appreciate that because there are a lot of moments, especially in ministry, that I've learned, but I have to continue to grow in. I just got to give it to the Lord.
Yeah.
I just need to give it to Him.
That's
for
it.
sure. Walk us through some practical tools as far as someone who says, I really am struggling with another person. I got a problem with them. I've built now the scenario up, and maybe someone's gone months or years without talking to this other person, this other family. They might even go to the same church. They might not live in the same state, whatever it is. How can someone start to tear down those walls and rebuild a good foundation?
Well, first of all is prayer. And it sounds cliche. You're like, oh, wow, big surprise. The pastor and his wife are telling us to pray. That's because it works.
Right,
it's really hard to be angry at someone you're praying for.
Yeah.
And I mean consistently praying for. And it's not that you immediately think like, oh, it's all fixed and they're a good person now because I'm praying for them. No, it might be a terrible person. They might be in the wrong on 100 counts, but it's really hard to retain anger. I've noticed this. And, that was told to me and I've tried it. It's so true. And it might not be that it's resolved, but your physical anger and your mental block about that person does tend to dissolve the more you pray for them. And then secondly, ask questions. Ask questions. Ask other people. Don't just vent. When you vent to someone about someone else or even a situation, typically they're more than likely going to agree with you. It's a rare friend that will hold your feet to the fire and say, I think you might be wrong on this. I wish we had more of those friends. But if you approach any friend with a question instead of, this, and you go on for 5 minutes and then you say, I'm right? Like, don't you agree? Of course, it's going to be hard for them to say, actually, I don't. But if you approach it like, if you really want to know, if you've built these fake people and these fake kingdoms in your mind, go to a friend and say, hey, I've been struggling with something. I'm curious as your point of view. Here's a situation for you. And don't toot your own horn. Don't present your case. Try to give it as objectively as you can. And after you've prayed for that person, go to someone you trust and say, what's your opinion on this? Or without even bringing in your name to it, say, hey, here's a situation, asking for a friend, 2 people, and maybe lay it out with some, anonymity and say, what would be your thoughts on that?
Right.
Ask questions. Or if you can stomach it, if you're a person that doesn't mind conflict, go to the person and say, I feel we got off track. Even if it's been years, go back and say, I don't mean to dig up, to beat a dead horse or dig up dead bones, but I do have a few questions because I think in my mind, I'm seeing things differently. How do you see them? And if you can humbly ask that and be ready to hear the answer, you really learn. You really do.
Yeah.
I think those two things, I mean, there's some other stuff, but if anybody makes it past those two and it's not solved, I would be shocked.
So if you go to a person, the only thing I would add is go seeking a resolution and not just validation that you're right.
Yes.
If you're going to go to someone, my advice is go to them.
That's good.
With I want to get this settled.
Yes.
And here's how you do it. Here's how I've learned is if you want something settled, go with questions, not accusations.
Mm-hmm.
Go with a genuine heart of, hey, you said this or you did this, or I feel like you treated me this way.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like that's what you were doing?
Am I seeing
did
that
I
right?
hurt you?
Yeah.
What did I do that I feel like I deserved this?
Yeah.
If you approach it that way instead of, hey, you said this and did this and you treated me this way and your family said this and you did.
Yeah.
Okay, automatically someone's going to, whether it's a spouse, a friend, an old friend, the people at your church, the walls are automatically going to go up. They do. It does in my life when someone comes to me and it's not, hey, preacher, can I ask you some questions? Yeah, let's talk, brother. Let's talk, sister. When it's, hey, pastor, you said and you did and you, my guard goes up automatically. Like, whoa, no, I did not. No, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So I would definitely go in, approach them with humility, approach with, hey, not an accusation. I just want to seek a resolution.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's talk about, lastly here, just some practical tips on if someone really cannot just overcome this. I can't go to this person, but I'm sitting here and I'm miserable. Give us some things that we can do to overcome. I can't approach, or it's too late, or they're gone, or they'll never speak to me again. But my mind still is rehearsing ways to get back. How can we overcome that?
The worst thing you can do is let your mind spiral silently. If you can write it down, if you can tell a therapist, a pastor, a counselor, if sometimes problems are just healed by you speaking them out loud. I don't know why. I'm not a licensed counselor or therapist. I don't know why that is true. I don't know why the sound waves from our voice telling someone an issue with the intent to heal is healing. I don't know. Why would that be healing? I'm not sure. I probably need to look into that and read up on it. But it is a fact.
Sure.
It is a fact. There's so many times going to someone who just listens to you pour your heart out and say, I'm struggling with this. I've had a thought about this. Sometimes that just fixes it. And you're just like, you know what? Just need to get it off my chest. I mean, some of these old sayings are just so true. So that's a really good thing to do is don't suffer silently. If you're suffering silently and you've only ever thought about it, you haven't prayed about it, try praying out loud. Hear your own voice say it. Journal it. Talk to a trusted counselor. Those things automatically will help. Memorize scripture that goes against negative thought patterns. If you memorize verses like, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, what is good, what is acceptable, what is pure, what is holy, think on these things. Be not drunk with wine, wherein is excess, but speaking to yourselves in psalms, hymns, spiritual songs, like all of these things that deal with the mind. Memorize those verses. And I've done it before. It is powerful. God's word does not return void. It will absolutely take effect in the way that you want. And then
hold on. Let me say one thing here. Let me cut in. Just say what Carrie's talking about is so good. When you talk to someone, it does get it off your heart. It gets off your chest. It does do a lot of good. For some reason, we became, in a lot of fundamental circles, very scared of Christian counselors, or, oh, we don't need that. You just come to church. Just get in church. It's all you need. It actually was a lie. That it did not. There are good Christian counselors out there that our couples need, people need, and can help people overcome a lot of hurt that has been in their lives. We send a lot of people to Christian counselors all the time. Just because we went to Bible college doesn't mean we can counsel everybody and everything. There's things that just it's over our expertise. And so talk to somebody, and here's the only thing that I would add to that is find someone who's going to help you, not someone who's just going to gossip with you or going to affirm that you are right. You're great. You're right. You have every right to get back. You need someone who, like the Ford podcast, is just going to help you.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm going to partner with you. I'm going to pray with you. Hey,
Yeah.
you can. Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. You can overcome this. Find people that are not just your BFF or your mom or, oh, my sister, she agrees with me. Okay, that's good and that's great, but that's just a good gossip fest.
Right.
It'll make you feel good about getting even with them.
Mm-hmm.
Find a spiritual mentor that's going
Yeah.
to help you overcome, so that you can move forward.
Yeah.
So that you're not sitting here like we've probably already wasted too much time. Now redeem the time, for the days are evil.
Yeah.
There's too much to do for the Lord than to sit here battling in your own mind over stuff that now we're realizing isn't even true.
Mm-hmm.
And if we would just have the courage to go to talk to someone or give it to the Lord and move on, we realize probably a couple months down the road, it was not near as big a deal as what we thought it was.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. That's so good. The other ones the other one we covered is praying for those who hurt you. But I would search through your mind, and this is to sum up, search through your mind and find, is there someone when you're in a bad mood and something sets you off, is there a situation or a person that you automatically go to, like, I not only have to deal with all this I'm dealing with today, but I keep thinking about when she said that and that never got solved. If you have those pockets in your mind where you have your little, it's almost like a voodoo doll. Do you remember, like, in the movies back in the day, they stick pins in them or something to hurt people? That was so messed up. But we almost do that in our own minds. I would search those out. I wonder how much we would be freed up spiritually if we took care of all of those little pockets in our mind filled with imaginary people that we beat up, imaginary situations that we
have
just
a lot more room.
I mean, we'd have a lot more room for peace and love and joy and friendship and harmony. Go through, ask yourself tonight, do I have any of those? And it might be painful. It might put you through a few weeks of pain of walking through one or a few of these. But it would be so worth it. It would be so worth it to clean up your mind, clean up your heart, and leave room for who knows what God could fill that with.
Yeah, it's good, Karen. Hey, thanks for tonight. This was
you
awesome.
too.
I hope that we were a
Very
help to
good.
someone. And I would just leave with this. If we could be a help to you, if there's something on your heart, your mind that you'd like Carrie and I, even if you've never met us before, to pray about, we'd love to partner with you on that.
Yeah.
And let me just say, Carrie and I have overcome a lot in our lives, a lot of hurt, but it's just so much better when you can move forward. The future is bright. You can't change the past, but your future is unknown. So keep your eyes on the Lord this week. Begin to forgive, and hopefully you'll take these steps to reconciliation.
Absolutely. Have a great week.